All right. Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is David, and tonight I'm going to be leading a loving kindness meditation. Uh, Before we begin, I just thought we'd just take a very, very brief sit just to center ourselves. I just start with 3 deep breaths, kind of straightening the back. All right. As I mentioned, we're going to be focusing on loving kindness meditation. But I wanted to start and talk about some of the things that have been going on that I've been noticing, some things in the temple that happened in the past week, and some things in my own life that are kind of relevant here. So for those who don't know, the Zen garden out front is brand new. It was just dedicated this past Saturday. And there were some guests that were here. There were some Tibetan monks. So 3 Tibetan monks came and did a blessing and a ceremony. And before that, inside here, they actually did a loving kindness meditation. And one thing that I always start with is, and loving kindness meditation starts with is, sending love and kindness to yourself. And what one of the monks said is, you can't send love and kindness to someone else if you don't have it for yourself. And there's some sayings, about that we've heard, that we all hear, you can't give it away if you don't have it, kind of thing, right? So it was interesting to hear them say that. But what they also said is something that I had not thought of before, I hadn't heard before, and that is some of the benefits of a loving kindness meditation. So I wrote them down. I was the guy on my phone typing. And so I missed some of them, and there was a heavy accent, but I thought I'd share them here. So one of the things that they said is, if you practice a loving kindness meditation, you're going to sleep really well. And they said, you're not going to have any hate in you. You're going to get a great night's sleep. Another thing is that you're never going to have any bad dreams. And I was like, oh, I must not be practicing enough because I have some bad dreams, right? And then they said that people are going to like you. So I thought that was interesting. And it kind of makes sense. If you're kind to others, if you do things nicely, if you always have a positive attitude, you're not putting anyone down, you're wishing well-being for people, you're going to be a likable person. And they talked about the hungry ghost. Does anyone know what the hungry ghost is? So in Buddhism, the hungry ghost is, there's different realms in Buddhist cosmology. And I think it's like 2 below us, and I'm not an expert at it at all, but the hungry ghost has a really, really, really thin neck or throat and a really large stomach. So it can never get enough food, right? Never be satisfied. And they talked about attachment and wanting more and desire and those kinds of things. And I was a little lost in translation, but I get that if you practice love and kindness, you're not going to have that attachment or ever have that hungry ghost kind of thing, like that craving that you could never get filled kind of thing. Another thing that they said, which I thought was interesting, was you're going to have high beings or deities protect you. So you're not going to get into a car accident and your house isn't going to be burned down by a fire. So a little different culturally. I was like, oh, that's interesting. People will see your face as beautiful. And finally, and there were more, there were 12 and I didn't get them all. But when we die, our mind is in such a good place, paraphrasing, that we're going to have a good birth. So I don't know if all this is going to happen if we practice a loving kindness meditation, but that's what the monk said on Saturday. And I thought it was kind of interesting. So was anyone here? Now that we have a few more people. All right. So Did I capture?
I think so. It was a little hard to understand.
It was a little hard to understand. So thank you for backing me up on that. It wasn't like I wasn't paying attention, right? So I thought that was interesting there. And then I always start with the four kinds of love, or the four Ramavitas. And when you think about loving kindness or love in general, and one of them is first one is loving kindness, right? And loving kindness is wishing goodness for another person. The next is compassion, and that's wishing no harm or no ill will or anything on a person. The third is spontaneous joy, and that's just pure being happy for someone else, right? Like, I think of that like with my father's wedding. I was just so happy for him. Like, I didn't want anything in return. Or, if someone gets a promotion at work, you're not jealous. You're like, yeah, that's good for you, right? And the last is equanimity, and that's that whole balance kind of thing. So we're obviously going to focus on the loving kindness portion. And I brought a book, Thich Nhat Hanh, How to Love. I didn't think I need a book on it, but apparently I do. And I just want to read this one little page, literally little page, on loving kindness. And hopefully my eyes will work with me here. The first element of true love is loving kindness. The essence of loving kindness is being able to offer happiness. You can be sunshine for another person. You can't offer happiness until you have it for yourself, which is the same things those monks said on Saturday. So build a home inside by accepting yourself and learning to love and heal yourself. Learn how to practice mindfulness in such a way that you can create moments of happiness and joy for your own nourishment. Then you will have something to offer the other person. So the one thing that stood out to me here, just because I'm kind of relating to my personal experiences, so it's better than just reading a whole bunch of stuff, is I recently spent a week at Deer Park Monastery up in Escondido area, and they're all about mindfulness, so much so that it's a monastery. There's bells everywhere, and every time a bell rang, you had to stop what you were doing, take a deep breath, till the bells were done, and carry on. But I thought it was kind of interesting, like their definition of mindfulness was just like, it wasn't something out there. It's like whatever you're doing. And there was this sign that said, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, breathe. This is all we're getting, is this moment right now. This is all you got. And I thought, wow, like that's pretty, like, it's not out there. It's not like, be the person you want to be. It's like, this is it kind of thing. And it just reminded me that like these are the moments we have where it's like in Buddhism, it's like people, not in Buddhism, but people in general looking at the future and worrying about the future or worrying about the past, what happened. But this is it. Like, if you're not happy now, when are you going to be happy, right? So it kind of reminded me of that. So what we're going to do, we'll start with, well, let me ask, has anyone not done a loving kindness meditation before? Okay, we're all experts. I love that. Cool. I'll go through this, and I usually break it up. I think I'll break it up this time too. We're going to start with focusing on ourselves and wishing loving kindness to ourselves with a series of phrases. May you be happy. May you be safe. Or may I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy. And may I live with ease. And it's really focusing on the phrases and not the breath as much. The breath just kind of keeps you there, but kind of visualizing a little bit what that would be for you. We'll then move over to a neutral person. We'll talk about who that could be. We'll take a break and talk about that. It could be anyone in your life that you don't have any kind of formal relationship with, but you see a lot. Then over to a loved one, then a neutral person, then a difficult person, and then kind of to all sentient beings. With that, when I meditate, I find it's good to sit up straight. because it allows a little bit of breathing, right? Sitting up straight pushes your stomach forward. I'm kind of a stretcher kind of guy. And I'll start with ringing the bell, and I'll do a little bit of guidance for us, and we'll go from there. We'll start with taking 3 deep breaths slowly. And then we'll repeat the phrase that I'm about to say in your head and focus on the phrase, the meaning behind it, and any visualizations that are appropriate with that. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy. And may I live with ease. And living with ease means no difficulties in your daily day, a day that's easy for you, that you could easily navigate without any troubles arising. So may I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy. And may I live with ease. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy. And may I live with ease. And as your mind wanders, coming back to those phrases, may I be happy, may I be safe, may I be healthy, and may I live with ease. Focusing on the words, may I be happy, may I be safe, may I be healthy, and may I live with ease. All right, going to keep this a little short because I always run out of time, I find. But I always like to see if anyone has anything to share. Found it difficult, easy, any learnings for the rest?
I do loving kindness for every single day, every single night. And I think it was Jeff, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, that it was always on Wednesday, loving kindness. And I think Jeff was doing it back then. And it was my first time I came, and that was what we were talking about. And that just stuck with me from that day forward, about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And so I use that every single night. And I don't necessarily do myself, a loved one, the whole neutral, somebody you don't like in the world. I usually pick somebody that I'm thinking about, and I'll do that. It's always loving kindness, health, happiness, and joy. And I find it, even when it comes to meditation, when it's not loving kindness, when my mind starts to stray, I'll use that to get me back on track with not having it wander all over the place. That one settles me down to focus. So I use it all the time. It's an absolute go-to. So I love it.
So what kind of, if I may ask, that's thanks for sharing. What kind of is the person just anyone who's in your life at the moment?
Oh, of course, somebody that is in my life. Typically, yeah, somebody that I'm close to. I certainly have used it in anger, people that I'm not so happy with, and somebody that maybe doesn't hit you the right way, and you're like, okay, and say, you got to do that because you need to let love and kindness stop the feeling of anger or hate or whatever you want to call it. So I would even do it while I'm driving. I could use it anytime. It's just my go-to default to getting back to center and the breath.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Anyone else?
I just started doing this one a couple of weeks ago, and I find from similar, it's the one that calms me down the most. Even like I was the last time I was thinking about somebody I loved. I thought about my mom, and I hadn't called her for a while. So even after that, I called her, and it was like it was a nice reminder to appreciate what you have in the moment. And I've used it a couple of times, similar people that I'm having struggles with or whatever. I'll kind of think about sending kindness to them, and it just helps with the interactions and in day-to-day life. So I'll say this one's been very effective, at least for me, since I've been using it for it's not as long as you, obviously, but the past few weeks.
Wow. Those are great testimonials. You can put them on our website. That's awesome. I got to keep it lighthearted here. All right. Anything else? Okay. We're going to move on. I'm focusing on a loved one. And someone obviously that you care about, someone that brings you joy, someone that warms your heart. And it's always good to visualize that person. Some people have trouble visualizing. Sometimes what I understand from a medical standpoint, they see people on the side, they can't visualize, but as best as you can, visualize that person, maybe giving you a hug or whatever is appropriate for you. And we'll do the same thing. We'll start again with 3 deep breaths. I'll go ahead and ring the bell, give you a little bit of guidance. It's the same or similar phrases, so it should be easy to remember. So taking 3 deep breaths. As I mentioned, thinking about visualizing someone that's close to you, someone that you love, someone that brings you joy. It doesn't need to be a romantic love. but someone that you want to send love and compassion to. Maybe they send it to you, and visualizing them in your mind and repeating the phrase in your mind, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. And repeating that, visualizing that person. And if the mind begins to wander, come back to the phrase, supported by the breath. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. And repeating the phrase, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. So did anyone find that easier? Yeah, it's easier when there's someone that you already love, right? And I didn't give the full instructions. I usually say it could be an animal as well. So, hey, I chose my dog, and I'm proud of that. So, send some love and compassion to my dog because it gives me a lot of love and compassion. Anyone want to share anything about who they chose or not? It's okay. We have one comment. We have a good evening from one of my millions of YouTube followers. So good evening back. So we're going to move on to a neutral person. Some people find this really easy. Some people find this really hard. The neutral person examples I like to give is it's the person that you see every day that makes your coffee. It's maybe you know who your mail person is. I know who mine is. She's very nice. She pets my dog. I don't remember her name. I know nothing else about her, except that she's a very nice person. Maybe it's someone at your work who you really don't interact with, just someone who's in your life that kind of you consider neutral. No ill will. We definitely don't have that sense of love towards them, but just someone there. So I think it helps build that awareness that we're all kind of connected here, and there's all these people going through all the same things that we're going through. And it's kind of nice to send them some loving kindness. There's a story of a guy, and he was on the news, and every morning he would lived on a busy road, and like outside of town, and all the cars would go past his house, like all the traffic in the morning. And he would go out every morning and he would wave to them and say, hey, have a good day, and every evening when they were coming back, he would wave to them again and wish them a good night and all this. And he was kind of like a thing in the town. And this news reporter came out and, wanted to interview him and all this stuff. And the news reporter said, they can't hear you. Their windows are up. But he didn't care. He was sending them this loving kindness. And it didn't matter if the other person, knew that this was happening. It was putting it out there kind of thing. So they thought he was the crazy guy for waving at everyone. And then, they couldn't hear him and he was okay with that. So people he didn't know, just doing a good deed and sending it out, not expecting anything in return. It's about the giving, not the receiving here. So, all right. So just as before, and again, we're visualizing and thinking about a neutral person in our life, someone that we see every day. We don't know much about, but they're definitely a constant presence on a daily or weekly or a regular basis. And we just want to think about that person. And when we're thinking about them, sending them some loving kindness, repeating the phrases and focusing on the phrases. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. Keeping that person in mind. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. Just repeating those phrases: happy, safe, healthy, and ease. As the mind wanders, come back to that person, back to those phrases. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. And again, coming back to those phrases, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. And sending that loving kindness to the neutral person. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. Does anyone have any issues picking a neutral person? I realize I don't see that many people in my day. I work from home, but anyone want to share who they picked? I'm always curious.
Yeah. I picked my neighbor who always puts up the trash cans. I saw him doing it today.
There you go.
Good guy.
Yeah. Right on. You already had a positive vibe about him.
Yeah, I've only talked to him, so I tried to keep it. I was kind of thinking maybe I shouldn't do it.
Right on. Yeah. Anyone else want to share anything?
I picked my mailman. Good suggestion. I do know his name. He's the same name as me.
Oh, that makes it easy. That makes it easy, yeah. And truth be told, she's told me her name, but I don't remember, so I'm a bad mail receiver person. I don't know. Yeah. I picked someone that I work with on the other side of the country that I don't really see very often, but I know them from Zoom. So just like trying to find someone out there who I think is a good guy. But yeah. So the next one is someone is a difficult person in our lives. So someone that we find difficult either to be around or personally, I have a person that a relative that knows exactly what buttons to push. They know exactly where they are and how to push them on me and all that. And I was just mentioning before we started, yeah, I'll just share. It's my mother, and she just had her birthday, and we weren't on good terms. But I made a point of going out, and not to pat myself on the back. I didn't even think I'd be sharing this, but it kind of because I'm leading tonight. But I actually kind of altered this to make it sound more conversational, but I'd like, hey, you're 75, is a huge number. Hey, I hope you're happy. I hope, I wish you happiness. I wish you health. I hope everything goes easy for you. And yeah, and I meant it too, right? Like, I don't want something bad to happen to someone. We're all people. We all have struggles. We all have dukkha, or suffering, as they say in Buddhism. So yeah, I guess it made me feel good, but it was also just felt like the right thing to do, right? So that's what we're going to do. Pick someone that is not your favorite person, is not a neutral person, someone that maybe gives you a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of angst, that could be someone very close to you. It could be someone out there that is doing something in the world, or whatever that may be, right? So we'll go through that again. And again, the goal is to wish them well-being. Another like modern way is I don't need to forgive someone for what they've done. I just want them to be happy. I want kindness to go to them. Or as my friends used to say, kind of good vibes to them, kind of thing, right? So I think that's the spirit of it here. All right. So again, for me personally, I like starting with taking 3 deep breaths, center myself. And again, we're thinking about visualizing someone that is a difficult person in our life, or difficult to us, someone that we have some anxiety about, or someone that we just find a difficult to be around for whatever reason that may be. It can be someone close to you. It could be someone from work. It could be anyone that you find difficult. And we're going to, just like everyone else, we're going to wish them some loving kindness. We're going to wish them happiness, safety, health, and ease in their life. So may you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. And visualizing that person, and truly focusing on the words, and focusing on giving them that loving kindness. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. As the mind begins to wander, coming back to the phrase, visualizing that person. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. And you're sending that loving kindness to this person. You're expecting nothing in return. Wishing them to be happy. Wishing them to be safe. Wishing them to be healthy. And hoping that they live with ease. So how was that? You all know who I picked. I already told you. And I've been doing it for the last week or so, and it does help. It also helps I found that like if tensions are rising, just to take a breath and, not physically, but step away from things in the moment. But, and I don't want to forget my millions of YouTube viewers right now. If anyone has any questions or comments, there's a chat somewhere on your screen. So is that easier, harder? Everyone know easily who to pick? Too many, and what was the other comment?
I had a hard time to start with. I was going to use the one that my loved one is also the one that is different in, and I shouldn't do that. So I ended up finding somebody in there. So then it's hard to pick that one, So you feel the strongest that you want to wish them loving kindness.
Actually, a few weeks ago, the person who was my love and my conflict was the same person. And it was good because it reminded me that you can keep the core of love to someone even as you're in conflict with them.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone's in a romantic relationship, I think we could all relate to that, right? I mean, who do you fight with the most? The person you love the most, or at least I used to, but still do to some degree. So I think that's really common. And they say conflict is good in relationships because otherwise you're holding things in. So
Also, just the day-to-day nature of life means that you inherently come into conflict with people that you share, a home or a life with, unless you live in a monastery where the rules are all done for you.
so for someone who just spent a week in a monastery, they have conflict too, by the way.
There you go. So I stand corrected.
They, as a real side note, the nuns felt that their food was better than the monks' food, and there was this whole thing going on, and it was true, by the way. I'd rather eat down with anyway. I digress. So difficult people. Let me ask the question a different way. Any relief? Was it easy? Because I know I find it over time. It's like I don't want I don't want anyone to die. I don't want anyone to wish ill will on anyone. Let them live their life, right? It's kind of the thought process there.
It's definitely not easy. Also, I went to Deer Park about a month ago just for a day, and I don't know who served the food, but it was really good. It was surprisingly good.
So as a side note, the nuns come up and actually cook in the monks area that day on Sundays. So yeah, that's I think that's a joint one. You had to be
I
able to.
wonder why, but this part of the meditation always reminds me of a story of someone I knew in New York who had an issue with somebody on the West Coast who achieved a lot of success, and he would find the window in his apartment in Upper Manhattan and find the window that faced west to yell at him and yell at him as if he could hear him. And I just think that there's something about that teaches me perspective, because it's like I can be angry with people and I can think they're difficult, and it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever in their lives, not a bit. But it does make a difference in mine. Would I rather find the window that faces west and scream obscenities, which probably wouldn't, at least for me, it probably wouldn't leave me feeling very good or productive or useful.
Yeah, there's a thing you don't have to accept other people's anger,
Yeah.
right? It's just because they're angry at you or you're angry. They can say to you, I don't need to have that. That's interesting. Anyone else? Any other comments?
Conflict with two people right now. And I think my problem is trying to complete it or close it instead of having it just be this. So it kind of sucks you in to say, that's not right, thank you, goodbye, whatever. Instead of doing nothing, but then doing nothing is frustrating because then it feels unfinished and unresolved when somebody's done it wrong to you. But I don't know what to do.
So I'm not a licensed psychiatrist, but I'll say from a Buddhist lens, the unfinished is okay. Like, is okay. We look for, what did I say earlier that I saw? This is it, right? Like, this is all there is. So it's okay to move on. It's okay not to strike back. It's okay, just accept things as they are. And from a Buddhist standpoint, I'm talking, right? I find it like I can accept things. So that is the reality of what's going on. I don't need to engage in it, or I can engage in it, right? We have a choice. And as they say here, I think every Saturday and Tuesday, when Jeff does his speech, we choose to react or not react. That's all we get is reactions, right? So things happen, we react. We get to choose how we react to things. So we don't have to react. Not reacting is a choice as well. So it's all our choice of how we react to those things. And I personally have a lot of conflict going on, and so many things that maybe I feel I'm wrong, but what good is it going to do, right? I'm not going to change anyone's mind. I might feel better. My ego may feel better, but it's a practice. I'm not perfect at it, right? But I know Jeff says, for those who don't know, Jeff is one of the founders of this place and such, and he always says we get to choose our reactions. More things happen to us, and we get to choose how we react. That's all we get. Stuff happens, and we get to choose our reactions. Not my words of wisdom, someone else's. All right. So for the last one, I'm going to do this a little bit differently than what I usually do. Typically, it's all sentient beings. I find that a little difficult to grasp, like sending loving kindness to the world. It just sounds, not that it sounds, it's hard for me personally to just imagine the entire world. So we're going to start small, and then we're kind of going to expand that, right? And you'll get what I mean, and just kind of visualize it and yeah, you'll get what I mean. So again, taking 3 deep breaths slowly. So what I'd like to do is to start, I said, loving kindness to everyone in this room. So some of you may know as acquaintance, some of you your first time here, your first time seeing these people, but we formed a bit of a sangha or a little group here tonight. And so let's wish some loving kindness. So for the people in this room, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. And then let's think about expanding that and visualizing and thinking about all the people in this neighborhood and University Heights, Hillcrest area. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. And then let's think about all of San Diego, all of the San Diego County, all those cities, all those people on the freeway that cut you off or you cut them off, all those people in line to get coffee, all those mailmen that you were thinking about before, or your neighbor. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. And then let's try to think about the whole country. There's a lot of conflict and opinions, and just wishing goodwill to everyone in the country. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. And then kind of broaden that up kind of to everyone, thinking of North America, Canada, Mexico, and wishing them some happiness. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. And we have so many people there. Let's just expand it to the entire world. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. All right. Any questions, any comments before we close? All right. I want to thank folks for participating, kind of sharing. Everyone here is kind of at a different practice level. So having some experience in there for someone who's been doing it for years or someone who hasn't been doing it for years, I think that's really healthy to hear other people's experiences. And with that, I'll close. I know we're going to have some announcements as well. But before we get those, may any merit gained from this practice be shared with individuals in all directions and to those who suffer. All right, Anna, I think you have something for us. I don't know of anything upcoming unique.
Hi, everyone. I'm tonight's host, Anna. We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and bring it back whenever you're done with it. Please straighten your seat or cushion before you head out. If a few people could stay to close and latch the windows, that would be helpful. Thank you for being here. We wish you well and hope to see you all again.
Thank you.